Hello, Calgary Catholic. Brian Zumlis, your Chief Superintendent here. Today I am at St. John Reception Center, and I'm joined with Cynthia Launiere, who is our Supervisor of Indigenous Education. Now, Indigenous Education is one of our 4 board priorities, and we have 3 focal points that we're trying to achieve. One is we're trying to educate people on the historical perspectives of Indigenous people. Number 2 is we are supporting and helping our Indigenous students graduate. And number 3 is we're really working on developing relationships with our elders. And Cynthia leads up the work in these areas. And can you tell me a little bit about your team and some of the work that they do to help us achieve those 3 board priorities?
Sure. So welcome to our room. This room is named Ape Sitipi Istigaku, which is a Blackfoot name for we are all people of this land. We're all responsible. There are no limits and no one owns the territory. So in this room, my team works very, very hard at meeting those 3 goals. So the first one we do is we have 2 teachers that go into all the classrooms. So we have 118 schools, I think, still. And they go into the classrooms and support the curriculum, integrating Indigenous knowledge. Our second bullet on the priority is our mental health and to support the students for success. And we have a consultant that supports DLCT and the teachers and the families. And the last one, in this beautiful room, we get to sit with elders from all of Treaty 7. We have 18 elders, some from Tsuut'ina, some from the Stoney, some from the Blackfoot, and of course we do not forget our Métis that are also from Métis Region 3 that sit in this room. And so we get to have consultation, great discussions on how to make it better and walk alongside Indigenous and non-Indigenous students.
So amazing work is happening by you and your team. And maybe tell me a little bit about your team and who comprises the team and kind of what backgrounds they bring. And maybe why don't you start with yourself?
Yeah. So Brian already said my name is Cynthia Launiere. I'm Maliseet de Vigée from the Wolastoqey Nation all the way back in Quebec. So I'm a visitor here in Treaty 7 in the Kakuna area, which off the St. Laurent River, and my mother is French Canadian. Everybody on my team is Indigenous, so we have our elder, District Elder Wanda First Rider, which is Blackfoot. I have Angela, is Métis from Saskatchewan, and she is our consultant for TNL. I have Trish, also known as Patricia. She's our DL, and she is Cree from Saskatchewan, and you'll start seeing a trend here, everybody from Saskatchewan. I have Leanne Gervais, who's also Métis from Saskatchewan, and she is one of our district teachers. And we have Ashley, though. She's Inuit, comes all the way up from up north. She's amazing as well. And my 2 mental health support workers are also Indigenous. One is Métis, Jody from Saskatchewan. And we also have Tristan, he's Ojibwe from all the way Ontario. And Deb, which is unique from the United States, and is Cherokee, and she works in the schools.
Oh, that's fantastic. And once again, our Board of Trustees and myself as the Chief Superintendent, we really believe that this is an area that we need to concentrate and work on. And your team has been doing a great job. And why don't you tell me a little bit about the pin you just gave me here?
So some of the knowledge that we are doing is we're trying to bring back the Indigenous ways. And the Indigenous ways might be smudging, land-based knowledge, walking and learning the medicines of the way. And some of the things we're bringing back because when residential schools happened, a lot of their cultural ways were taken away. And so we're trying to reintegrate that for the Indigenous students as well as the non-Indigenous students. So here in my little bucket here, the Indigenous students from St. Timothy's have been working with our mental health support worker on learning back their trade, their skill set of beading. And so they beaded here for our superintendent, our chief superintendent, and all of the directors, a pin, handmade pin. They couldn't make the orange shirt. They said it was too difficult, but an orange heart represents the same thing, which is, again, truth and reconciliation, the orange shirt day, but it should be lived every day. So we have now gifted, the kids from St. Timothy's gifted this to our chief superintendent, and I will go around and give this to all of the other directors in our district. So please wear that with pride every day, because truth and reconciliation is every day, not just one day a month.
Big thank you to our students for the beading and the presentation of the pin, so thank you. And final question. So we know that June 21st is National Indigenous Peoples Day. And so what should people do on that day, or what advice do you have for people on that day?
Thank you. That's a good question. So it is one day. However, we are celebrating Indigenous Month, the entire month. And we're invited by the Indigenous people to attend powwows, markets, places of food where they make great bannock, and just go out and celebrate them. This month is really to show what has happened in the past, but to celebrate who they are, their culture, their dancing, their beating, their foot, their food, and their footwork with the dancing is amazing. Actually, you have to have great cardio. So just go out, get yourself out there. Every weekend there's powwow. Last weekend there was some in Strathmore. I think this weekend coming up is on the Stony. You are always welcome at powwow. Go and watch, listen, and learn. So that's what I would invite you to do. But when you meet someone on the street, ask them how they're doing. They really need us to reach out to them.
No, thank you so much, and we'll be providing further information in our Parent Guardian newsletter, so please watch for it. And on behalf of the entire district, I want to thank you and your team for the amazing work that you guys do day in and day out. God bless Calgary Catholic. Have a great day, everyone.